I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever this video finds you, welcome to Tix. And let me see here. I've been having, let's see here. Hold on. Is my camera on? My camera's not on. I don't, man, messing around with Zoom. Messing around with Zoom is done through it's through my mic off. Can y'all hear me? Let me see here. Let me double check. I thought everything was good, but let's find out, shall we? I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here long at all. Let me see. Check. Okay. All right, there we go. So, as you know, Dr. Umar Johnson is going through his controversy, and I am not a fan of his. You know, no big whoop. A lot of people are making a lot of videos on him. And the only thing I can really say about that is that from what it looks like, based on the timeline that he gave us, it sounds like he messed around there and uploaded probably not one, or deposited not one, but two bogus money orders from South Africa, from his South African trip. Because based on the timeline in which he was talking about, he said that he started having, the bank said that the trouble began, which, as he said, was the week that he left, and then within the 2 weeks that he was gone out of the month. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know I'm a little sloppy with this, but I'm about to clean it up. Based on the timeline and what he said, he did 2 lectures in South Africa because he was there for a month. And they said that it was within the 2-week span, like right before he left, which he admitted to, and the other one when he was halfway there. Now, I got this up here because Umar Johnson, this is his speaking fee for a live event. It's $5,000 to $10,000. All right, $10,000 being the most. That, I mean, he has it right here. Like here, I'll post the link for those of y'all who are watching. Probably not even a replay game, but it's there. It's there. This is allamericans.com. So that's his going rate. Now, for them to first send a letter and then eventually freeze his bank accounts, I mean, based on experience, not my personal living experience, where I've had an account shut down because, you know, no, but having friends and associates, most recently as of last year, who were depositing these bogus money orders. I mean, you saw the Chase money order glitch. Remember the Chase money order glitch where people, or the Chase glitch where people would deposit these checks or whatnot for all this bogus money that they didn't have in these money orders, and they would like for $30,000. And of course, it said, man, where have you been? I had to take a break. You have to watch the last video I did. I explained everything in the first 6 minutes, but I'm back. But where they did the fake checks, like they would deposit the checks for $30,000, and then the bank would give them 15, because they give you half up front. What's up, Audrey? And then after that, once the check doesn't clear, you now owe the bank $30,000 plus the bounce check fee plus gratuity. At any rate, you owe that money, and if you don't pay it, the bank would, and if you don't have the money to cover it, the bank would freeze your account and then eventually delete your account. But the thing about it is, what's up, Carlton? But the thing about it is, they would then report you to the federal government, which is of course the FBI. And then if the money is high enough, then anything, what was it, anything over $1,000 is a felony, as far as in the new defund the police world. But this is the bank. The bank is going to come after you even if you owe them $50. They don't play. And now you're talking about thousands of dollars. So one of my homeboys, or it used to be my homeboy, because once I see that you're doing fraudulent activity as a lifestyle, I can't mess with you. But what he was doing last year, he was, from what I understand, he had been depositing fake money orders in these, like he would have a bank account. He was dealing with fraudsters. They would send him a fake money order for $5,000. He would drop the money in his account. He would take the $2,500. He would send them some money back, okay, and then keep his cut, whether it was $500 that he was sending them or $1,000, whatever. He was keeping his cut. And then of course the money orders were fraudulent. The bank would freeze his account and say, hey, you owe us $5,000 plus a bounce check fee. He doesn't have the money, so they just, well, you can't bank here anymore. So he would open up a new bank account the next month whenever he got his Social Security check, and then do the same thing all over again, to the tune of, as I was speaking to one of his family members when he eventually got evicted, I said, well, because they took over his checking account, his banking account, the new one that he had. And I said, well, can't you just set up some type of payment plan or whatever to get him to where he's not evicted? And they were like, he owe over $20,000 in back rent, because he had at one point been giving the leasing office these fake money orders. So they're like, what the hell? Just defrauding everybody. He's lucky he's too old to go to jail, because this guy's like my father's age. But this is what he was doing as, I guess, what, a hobby? But yeah, they froze his account because of fake money orders. I believe this is the same thing that happened to Umar. I think before he went to Africa, they sent him a check or a money order. Because understand, like you see it right here, $1 US is worth what? Here, I'll show you. $17.79. All right, South African rand, $1 US. So them sending him $10,000 is really like 17,000, damn near $18,000 for them, not counting airfare plus hotel. Because do understand that Umar is going to take this money in American money. He's not going to take it in the South African rand. He wants it in American money. So if you ask me, they got him. They messed around there and got him. And do understand that this was after this incident happened right here. If y'all remember this, when he was in Africa, I think he was in South Africa, and a woman called him to the carpet about his children. Let's go.
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening, Queen.
It was lovely to hear you speaking this evening, okay? And I just want to say to you, amongst this whole room, there's a generation of us that are secondary generations who are parents that came to Britain to build up this country, okay? I've heard everything you had to say this evening. Now, on top of all of that, all of us are sitting here, we have all got children ourselves.
Okay, sorry there. I think this was when he was in England, excuse me. But still.
You targeted one thing for me this evening, is the speech that you're making this evening is well and good doing it to us, but it's the children after us that need to be hearing this. Because I'm going to be dying, and my next generation is my children and everybody else's children in this room, who at the end of the day is not hearing this preaching. Now, I'm going to say one thing to you, yeah? I told my son, my youngest, he's 27 years old, he was raised appropriately, he works, he has a profession, okay? I told him, I'm coming to Birmingham to see you. He said, oh, I said, I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said, that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters. Do you know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. But and I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it if he's talking about representing the black sisters and the black sisters, man, our brothers need to know who we are and be dating the black sisters in the community or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has three, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife? That's what my son said to me.
That's powerful. I got it.
And of course, as you know, he deflected from all of that. I mean, if you want to, I mean, I can continue playing it, but you know, he just, where did I find get a third baby mama? I mean, that was, you know, what he said, but he never did address about him that we already know him having 2 baby mamas. Of course, the timeline from that is he was with his first baby mom up until his daughter was 11. He wound up getting another woman pregnant because he was on the lecture circuit at that time. She found out about it. Domestic violence ensued. He, of course, had to sit on the grandmother's couch, his first baby mama's mother's couch, in order to see his daughter because he was labeled to be violent and aggressive. So it was going to be a supervised visitation, and he just opted out. We all know this. He opted out. I mean, we see his older daughter is out here crashing out all over social media, and the way that he talks about her is just absolutely terrible. All right. And he doesn't even talk or see the second child at all. All right. I mean, I'm not really trying to run down the whole character assassination thing. I mean, his actions speak for itself. But that's what she was getting at, and that's what he totally ignored. All right. And And as he said, he pays his child support in bulk. And through Lennon Horner, we found out that he's been arrested for not paying his child support on time. He's lost his driver's license for not paying his child support on time. You know, true Pookie behavior. True Pookie behavior. All right. But setting that aside, you see how the people who are from Africa, who are from South Africa, who are now living in Britain, they know all about him. His jacket speaks for itself. All right. Jacket being history. His jacket speaks for itself. So here he is all the way over in England, and he's getting sweated about being a baby mama maker. All right. So the reputation has preceded itself. It's preceded himself. So this was before this last trip that he went, where I feel that he deposited those fake money orders. Now, getting back to that, the only reason why a bank would freeze your account is if you don't have the money to cover those fraudulent checks or money orders. That's the only reason why they would do it, because if you had the money in your account, they would just subtract the money from your account. We're talking about, what did he say? Both accounts. So you're looking at $10,000 from the quote unquote FDMG account and $10,000 plus gratuity, that being airfare at the hotel, from his personal account. So he didn't have $20,000, $30,000, you know, just to be a little bit generous on the bump. 15 in one account, 15 in the other. Yeah, they do a bit scamming behavior across the world. He didn't have the money. He doesn't even have $30,000, you know, to cover even just one account. So he's burned through that money. These speaking fees, I'm gonna tell you right now, that African trip really set him back. I mean, sure, he's paying the bills at his mama's house where he's living, and at the school, because he was in there with his fake, you know, with the drill and the bottled water, faking like he's trying to do some work because he's trying to solicit donations and everything. I mean, he's down bad. He's down bad because he's very piss poor with money. Lene exposed all of that. How he just buys things in bulk because he's a hoarder. He's very bad with money. He likes to spend it on the ladies and quote unquote turning the heat down. All right, dude's got habits, rental cars, because he doesn't own a car, so he's getting rental cars. He's very bad with money, and he's mismanaged the school money. I mean, just the simple fact that look at what he bought. Let's just say what he's doing, he's trying to be legit. Those bandos that he bought in Delaware, anybody with any type of common sense wouldn't have, they'd have walked up in that school and saw that how the horrible state that it was in. Horrible state that it was in, knowing that it needed at least $1 million in renovations and repairs, especially with the HVAC within itself, would have said, oh, hell no. Plus, you're the sole caretaker of your mother, but supposedly, but you're never there. How are you trying to be some so-called principal in Delaware when your mother's in Philadelphia? And clearly she needs round-the-clock care. Somebody always needs to be in the house with her because she has dementia. As Lene was saying, I mean, Lene really put everything in perspective concerning his mother. She has dementia, severe dementia. My father has I would say he has 30% dementia. Okay, 30%. And I'm just dealing with the 30%. Sometimes I'm up at 3:30 in the morning because the alarm is going off because he's trying to get out the front door talking about some, you know, take me to school. I need to go to school. 3:30 in the morning, alarm blaring. You know, what the hell? So I can only imagine, and this woman is bedridden, so I can only imagine what people are going through when dealing with his mother. And if you're going to be the sole caretaker, you've got strangers and RAs or RNs or whatever you want to call them running in and out of your house. You keep driving them off. Your mother doesn't want anybody touching her, like in her private areas where she needs to be cleaned off at. I mean, people say he's intelligent, but I don't see it. I just see a lot of racial talk, lot of racial gobbledygook, but I don't see any intelligence there, like at all. Like, where's the common sense? Is not there. Now, you can be well read and well educated all you want to, but the intelligence, which is your common sense, that's not there. It's just not there. I don't care. I've said 1,000 times, I don't care about the circumference of the moon and how much the earth weighs and all, and the circumference of a pyramid. I don't give a damn about that. That's not going to help me in life. You want to help me in life? Show me what Nikola Tesla learned about the pyramids on how they were a wireless energy source. You know what I'm saying? Through the limestone and the water and everything. Show me that. I don't give a damn who was buried in a tomb. Show me how we can have a wireless permanent energy source as long as we keep the foundations together. Show me that. The book knowledge is fine, but show me the intelligence, the purpose of it. Let's get to that. But I digress. Like, right, he's intelligent to the Pookie class. He's intelligent to the low IQ racist class. You know, that's running around talking about some black queens forever, snow bunnies never. But yet at the same time, they sitting up here manosphering all over the place. But that's a different story. Still running around here voting Democrat, but talking about white folks as racist. These are the type of people that's mad at white folks out in the middle of the Ozarks building an all-white town. You're mad at white people who don't want to be around you. You're mad that they don't want to be around you. Why? I thought they were racist. I thought you hated racists. I thought you hated white people. I thought you didn't want to be around them. So they're like, cool, we don't want to be around you either. And somehow you're mad. You're crying because Sydney Sweeney is doing an American Eagle ad. You're so fragile and such a victim that you're literally on TikTok crying. Hitler, shut up. You standing in front of American Eagle with a blonde weave in your head as a black chick. I can't go in there because they're racist. Excuse you? Like, do you have any idea how silly you sound? But I digress. Yeah, he didn't even have the money to cover at least $20,000 or at the very least a $10,000 fake money order. So they froze his account. And of course, money that high, at the minimum $10,000, they're going to report that to the IRS, which is of course going to get the FBI involved. This is why he was earlier, if you notice, shortly after he got back from Africa, he was talking about how he needed a lawyer and everything, and he was trying to blame Lennon Horner and Lene, the chick who busted him out. He needed money for a lawyer. Well, shouldn't you have the money for a lawyer? And what type of grown man, especially over the age of 50, that doesn't have at least at the bare minimum, at least $1,000 in cash that they can put their hands on, or a credit card, some type of money you got stashed away, or some little thingamabob. You know, I mean, you know how we brothers, we know how to, if you're over the age of 40, you know how to get your hands on some quick money. without going on the internet begging or setting up a GoFundMe or anything, because you know that looks weak and pathetic. You go out here and hustle. Like, you know what? Cool. Like, you know what? I got grandma's ring. I need a quick 300. Let me run this to the pawn shop. This, that, and the other, some tools. Let me pawn these tools. Hell, I just sold my old car from Columbus. I sold that to a junker for like $200. I ain't even need the money. The dude surprised me. He was like, I just wanted to get rid of the car. I was tired of looking at it. So he was like, so 200, okay? Like, y'all drop me 200 for it, all right? I was like, okay. Broke out the Cash App. I wasn't expecting him to pay me at all. Matter of fact, you can go to do the title loan. If you really know, for those of us that know, if you really know you in a bind. I'm in a bind, Nate. You'll take your car to the title loan if you own it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll go ahead and fire up that Uber app and drive for a week or two. Whatever. Everybody knows how to make some quick money. Don't sit up there and get up here and be begging for donations and all that stuff. That lets you know the money is gone. The money is gone. He screwed that money off. Plus, I mean, over time, people just got tired. I gave Umar $100 back in, when did he first start? 2014? Yeah, because I remember I was staying in that 2-bedroom townhouse. It was before we moved before I got the house. Before we got the house, I was staying, this when I was in Ohio. I dropped him $100 and then went up to Cleveland and watched one of them same old boring, tired lectures that he gave for 2.5 hours. And the whole time, I think I looked up maybe 5 times. I was just on my phone, just letting them talk. Just letting them talk, because I'll call myself trying to support the brother. And I really remember saying the whole time with that first year, I was like, I'd be surprised if he get the school open, but if he do get it open, it probably won't last a year. And that's just based on experience. When we had the Alpet school, not us personally, but it was a black owned private school down here in Atlanta in the 90s. They're in the heart of, the Ashe and Assalamu Alaikums and the Shikis and Kufis and Fezes. I mean, this, back during true conscious community. $300 a month. That school shut down in 2.5 years because the parents just didn't think that it was worth it. And it was kindergarten through 6th grade, and it was a pretty school. Pretty school, off in the kind of like, it had a long driveway, like kind of off in the woods, and it was beautiful. You walked in there, and it was like Black Shangri-La. Big old gym. We used to rent their gym when we have big speakers come. Like if we hosted like a Dick Gregory or a Phil Valentine, or matter of fact, the first time we used it, Steve Coakley. We used the gym for Steve Coakley. Or when Bobby Hemmett would speak back when once he built up his following and he was hot. Yeah, we used their gym. We rent out their gym. Beautiful place, beautiful place. Shut down because people didn't want to pay it. Pan-African Negroism. Yeah, the red, black, and green African medallions. Yeah, I mean, we was blackity black, because I'm black, y'all, because I'm black, y'all, because I'm blackity black, because I'm black, y'all. I mean, that was at the heart of the heart of it, back when it was strong. Back when it was strong, and that school didn't make it past 2.5 years. Parents couldn't afford the tuition. I knew he wasn't going to be able to do it. Plus, he was trying to do a boarding school for black boys. There's not enough pro-black parents with the money or the children that would fund a private school like that he's trying to do out of their state And the way he's been behaving and carrying on social media since 20, when did he have that freak out with what's that guy's name? Zeddy? Yeah, CB4. Yeah, you got the reference. Who was that guy? Seti or whatever, where he called him a white man and he called himself picking up the phone, talking about some Goonie Goons, and the phone rang or chirped or whatever. You know, ever since then, his behavior has been just a steady downhill decline. You're watching him go back and forth overseas, to Japan, Africa, South America, whatnot. He was passport Pookieing with the money. He says it's not enough black people in Delaware to fund his school. Right. There's not enough black people that would move to Delaware to fund his school. Talking about some, pro-black school. You're watching and you watch this behavior just go right down the toilet. The way he talks about women, the way how he handles conflict. All right. I mean, this latest video, he throwing up the middle finger, talking about some YouTube struggle streamers and all this stuff. Like, dude, yeah, but see these YouTube struggle streamers, let's say I'm a YouTube struggle streamer. This is my house. My name is on it. You know what I'm saying? House, name on it. All the bills are paid. And I'm not hurting for money. You know what I'm saying? Umar went Soldier Boy, tell him route. Like, dude, like you went passport Pookie. You got the money. You passport Pookieing. You ate it. You gambling with it. All right, you out there playing the slot machines and everything. You supposed to have been stacking ends, and you were doing it by yourself. The second people asked you, well, let's see the books, and him refusing to work with people, you didn't have to work with Moist Twatkins. You didn't have to work with him, but he is a financial guy. Y'all could at least sat down and had a conversation. Well, hey, brother, look, what's the best way that I can increase the portfolio of the donations that I got? He didn't even want to do that. That was the red flag right there. At the very beginning, that was the red flag. And then getting in it with Tariq Nasheed. I mean, bro, what is you doing? If it wasn't for Tariq Nasheed, trust me, the black populace who are part of the conscious community, whatnot, man, we didn't know who you was. You know what I'm saying? He say actually Delaware black population is somewhere 5% and white 85%. So I've been to Delaware before. It's a shithole. Yeah, it looks like it. A lot of people tried to help him. Even Lord Jamar was trying to help him. And matter of fact, when he did that interview with Lord Jamar, the way he was talking, that right there, I think, in all honesty, that was really a huge death knell. I think that was a huge death knell. Because he was like, I don't care what other people are doing. You should care. Don't you think you need? Well, anybody that was serious about what they were trying to do was like, well, hey, can you, after the stream, can you put me on? Let me talk to them. Let me find out what they did, what avenues they took. You can sit up here and play like you just trying to build it off the strength of the black dollar, but do understand the donation money that the people you're getting money from, or was getting money from on a regular basis, makes up and I'm being generous, 0.02% of black society. That's on a steady basis. But as far as somebody may have watched you on a Breakfast Club, or maybe somebody, this their favorite YouTuber, and you did a lecture. Oh yeah, I heard about Umar. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm convinced. And they might send you $10, $50, $100. Some dudes may even send you a grand, couple grand. There's a sucker born every minute. What's up, Sunken One? No, I see. Oh yeah, you wrote it. Yeah, there's a sucker born every minute, but Everybody want to talk about being woke, but a lot of people are awake. Conscious community is not what it used to be. Yeah, you are the most sought after and all of this stuff because I mean the name of the game is views. For social media, the name of the game, especially for YouTubers, are views. Because they get paid off of views. Their channels are monetized. So them giving you $5,000 plus gratuity, you know, off of that one video, they might make 100K, 150, 200K. Because you're a lightning rod for those type of people. You know, they love to hear you talk. So them paying you out for you to be on their videos, trust me, bro. What you got was like $10 to them. It's $10 plus they're local. So yeah, like I said, 5K plus gratuity. Here's $50. Come talk on my channel. You know, well, I get like 300,000 views or something, or 50,000, whatever. You sitting up here talking about all the views you get, but your channels aren't monetized. Because if they were, then those fake money orders would have they'd have just, even though they bounced, they would have been covered. You getting 1 million views, but you're not making any money off of it because your channel's not monetized. Yeah, big fat conscious been hustled since Stokely. Yeah, trust me, bro. Look, y'all know who I am. Y'all know my background. Trust me. We still living off that money, and we sold the store in 2001. We still living off that money. Do you understand? We still living off that money. And a great deal of it wasn't touched because my stepmother, when she was alive, she was good with money. I mean, she did make a mistake, and we went over to I want to get into that, but trust me, the conscious community in the 90s, oh, that was a good hustle. But at least you were, you know, selling people information. Like they say, the game is to be sold, not told. I wonder if Umar would ever pivot to another industry. Yeah, you probably standing at a construction site holding them stop, go signs. Wearing them yellow vests and construction hat, standing out the sun. Stop. Go. Stop. Slow. Stop. Slow. Say he went to Chuck E. Cheese and spit that on the bills. No, but yeah, you are the most requested because people don't do this no more. Phil Valentine is 90% retired. He might pop up on Black Magic podcast or whatever. He'll pop up on there, you know, when he'll get all them hits because a lot of us still, you know, we still know Phil Valentine. At least we know he's a solid brother. You know, he's not caught up in controversies and whatnot. He's not out here arguing and talking nasty about the women who aired them out. Talking about some fish tanks and panties and all that stuff. Like, bruh, you sound disgusting. Say all Umar needs to get a job. Trucking career would make progress on that school. Not with the habits he got. He should have been pivoted. I don't endorse Tariq Nasheed, but even that dude, yeah, because remember Tariq Nasheed went from, you know, the Mac lessons, and then the Trayvon Martin situation happened, and then boom, he did a complete 180. And that was like the biggest lick he's ever hit in his life with them Hidden Colors. I don't know what he's doing now, but you know, like I was done after Hidden Colors too. I just checked out, but you know, because you're not telling me anything I don't already know. So like whatever, you know, you saw a few other pro-black YouTube all-stars at that time. They tried to come out with DVD series, and you know, whether that succeeded or not, only they know. I don't really care. I didn't even buy the DVDs because at that point I was like, okay, I see the hustle. Like, yeah, I'm good. You're not telling me any. Plus, I went to the screening of the one dude that did the DVD series right after Tariq. And I mean, it was really like the information was basic and the footage was garbage outside of the interviews, but the B-roll footage was trash. So, I was done with the whole DVD situation. You say now Tariq got a museum and turned into a nightclub. Yeah. And he owns property here in Atlanta. He owns an apartment complex out here. If you're going to get that money, especially when you get a boatload of it like that, at least secure your future first. Tariq started buying properties and everything. He bought his house. Him and Peanut had the kids, and then they started going on vacation because he had a revenue stream that was steady coming in. He made smart moves with his money. He didn't all of a sudden go, passport Pookie and everything. That brother set up for life. He ain't out here trying to ask for donations to PayPal. And his bank account is gone because they shut down his Apple Pay. Same thing I was saying about the illegals. Like once Trump shuts down your social security numbers, how you gonna get paid? Like you can't buy a stick of bubble gum in the United States without a social security number, because without a bank account, without a social security number, you don't have a bank account. Without a bank account, you ain't got no money. Unless, of course, you're gonna do the whole PayPal thing. But you have to set up and have a bank account first, and then you can put it on the PayPal pay card. How long you think that's gonna last you? You say Nature Boy, Blue and Red Pill, etc. All these Negroes are for the weak-minded. Obi-Wan told y'all Jedi mind tricks work on the weak-minded. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of us that's done, well, not too many, but there's some of us that have done well for ourselves as far as like in this space. I try to be low key. That's why I don't get upset. Like I've lost when I lost my main YouTube channel, I also lost my Embraceability channel. And the only thing that I was really ticked off about with the Embraceability channel was that I lost the inventory. I lost the inventory of those videos. But understand that all of that fell under one fell swoop. On YouTube, you create sub channels under your main email address. If they kill your main email address, all your channels go. So it's like, fine, I'll just create another one and then another one. I mean, there's nothing to create a YouTube channel. And especially like if you're not, for me, I don't do this for money. Don't send me no donations or nothing like that. I don't need your money. You need it more than I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not trying to say that you guys are poor or anything, but it's like, yo, keep your money. Like, I don't do this for your money. I'm good. I'm good. Spend it on something, more worthwhile to you. Hell, in this economy, it don't matter whether you got $1 or $100 million in the bank. Every penny counts. Every penny counts, especially if you're smart with your money. That's why I used to do the money shows to try to help brothers invest. By the way, if you guys have been investing in crypto, you see that it shot up. It's shot up over the past 2 weeks. But I digress. Yeah, but I mean, after, let's see, 2010, you could say he started collecting donations, or let's say 2014. After 11 years, there's no progress. You done had those buildings for 6 years. there's no progress. I mean, eventually people get tired, especially how you're saying that it's just supposed to be yeah. So you saw that boost in crypto, especially when you're talking about the school is supposed to be for kids between the grades of fourth grade and fifth grade. Then why the hell you buy those buildings if you're only going to be concentrating on just 2 grades? And why didn't you buy those buildings? You could have came down here to Atlanta, Chocolate City, or even Washington D.C., Chocolate City, or right there in Philadelphia, Chocolate City, Chicago, Southside, anywhere where there's majority Black population, and done some real research. And if you couldn't find a school, in all honesty, you could have got a church. Say crypto was going to explode in winter season. One more legislation need to pass. You say even Keisha's waking up between naps. Yeah, you could have bought a church. There's churches down here going for like 150, 200K. You could have bought an old church. Or better yet, you could have rented a church. Or whatever. You could have done anything. You were smart with the money. If you really called yourself trying to do what you said you was going to do, you could have done any of those. You could have bought an old church or came down here and bought a school building that was in good shape. We just talk to the realtor like, hey, look, talk to a realtor, be like, hey, look, you want to make your commission? Find me a nice small school. All right. A nice small school that don't need a lot of work. Maybe some paint, some ceiling, like not the ceiling, but the ceiling, not the roof, but the ceiling. You got to put the little tiles in or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Something like that. You could have done that and sweep the floor and been good to go. Just pay off. And plus, a lot of these places, come to find out, they just owe back taxes. You can get them on at auction, or just pay the back taxes. Pay the back taxes on the delinquent property. They give you the deed. You're now the owner because they don't care who pay the back tax. You pay the back taxes, you own it. Say Umar should make a meme coin for his fans. Umar white bunnies. UWB. I mean, you could have done anything. But he's not smart. He's not intelligent. He's just educated. And the funny thing about it is, I know I said I wouldn't get on the drag show, but the thing about it is that he got female degrees. He got degrees that women used to get back in the 90s. I be running into these black chicks at West End Station, because for those that don't know, the colleges are like stone's throw away from the West End Station. So all the girls and guys, Spelman Morehouse, they would walk from the school to the train station, maybe about a 10-minute walk, 5-10-minute walk. So they would walk to the train station. And being out there passing out flyers and everything, yeah, we got this event, whatnot. You get to talking to the sisters, parking lot pimping. Umar could have teamed up with Jay Morrison. That's like 2 serial killers teaming up. Dexter and name a serial killer. You can forget it. Somebody gonna slaughter somebody in the end. No, but get the parking lot pimping at West End, and these chicks, oh yeah, engineering. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a lawyer. They freshmen or their first semester or whatnot. You see them about 3 months later. Oh, I done changed my major. What did you change it to? Psychology, psychiatry, communications. Degrees that Umar went to school for. They're degrees that people get because they're not smart enough to be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. Or nursing, they go into nursing. Yeah, Umar begging LeBron James, Jay-Z, and Beyonce to donate to his school. LeBron James, that can't even keep his school open. $8 million a year annually it keeps for him to keep that I Promise school open. And these kids in the school can't even read. They out here assaulting people. But yeah, he got these female degrees, these girly degrees, these low IQ degrees. He might as well say Bolivian. He got Bolivian ballroom dancing degrees. Talking about some he's smart. The black scammer prototype started after slavery, especially in the early 1900s. Yeah, because I mean, black folks needed a purpose and a direction. And I know we hold some of our early dudes back in the 30s to a high degree, 30s and 50s and 60s, but a lot of those dudes was really just scamming. You know, they were kind of scamming, but at least they had something to show for it. Jay Morrison would be Hannibal Lecter. You know, at least they had something to show for it. I mean, you got, you know, the Nation of Islam. At least they had something to show for it. They had grocery stores, they had land, they had their own churches and temples and everything. You know, they built their infrastructure off of dudes fresh out of prison who needed a fresh start. And now if you go to prison, you become a jailhouse, what they call them, jailhouse Muslims, to avoid getting raped and beaten and murdered. You know, you pretty much join a religious gang is what you've done. You join a religious gang and you wear the beanie and you do the assalamu alaikums and try to talk, you know, like you're you try to sound educated, but you know, it's whatever. But at least, you know, they put you out on the streets and made you hustle and earn your money with bean pies and final calls. But now all of that is over. The grocery stores, the dry cleaners, all of that stuff is dried up. Dried up. I don't even know how they make their money now. You know, you've got what, the Hebrew Israelites. Don't see them out on the corners anymore at West End. Their restaurant down there in West End, I don't even think that's open, or it is barely open. The Shrine of the Black Madonna. I asked one guy, I said, Dad, like, do they still open up on, you know, was it Saturdays, Sundays, whatever, when they hold church? He was like, no, like, I ain't seen nobody out there in years. I'm like, wow. You know, eventually these cults will run their course. I mean, look at what happened with a lot of these cultists. Oh God, Dwight York and his disciples. I mean, you know, look at what happened to these people. Brother was like a bean pie. And them bean pies was good. Let's just be honest. But you know, the conscious community in the lecture circuit is not what it used to be in the 90s. You know, you got, and I spoke about this the last time my cousin, because he's the one that bought the store from us. I think I came down here in 2007. This was like my second time moving down here. I came down here in 2007. And he wanted me to film a lecture, a Delbert Blair lecture. You can still find them in some spots screaming at white people. I guess I can't find them here in Atlanta. And I'm at the Delbert Blair lecture. Keep in mind, we sold the store to him in 2001, which is when I quit. So here it is 6 years later. Okay, in 2007. And I'm standing waiting for the lecture to begin, and I turn around and I scan the crowd, and I see the same folks that I saw back from 93 to 2001. Here it is 2007. Not a lot, but there was a handful, at least about 10 people. And I'm looking at them and they looking at me, and I think they saw the look on my face. And the look on my face was like, you still doing this stuff? Y'all still here? Y'all literally I guess your lives are so empty on a Saturday night. You have absolutely nothing else going on for you that you came out to watch Delbert Blair do the same old freaking lecture he always do, where he hold up these pictures of UFOs, but no pictures of aliens from the 1950s. Even Delbert Blair, during the lecture, even you could tell that he wasn't into it, that he was just in it for the money. I mean, no energy at all. I'm like, how many times do you have to watch this dude do the same damn lecture over and show the same damn pictures out of the same damn books over and over? And he's been doing this ever since he was first on tape. What, 93? It's the same damn lecture. He said, I just learned that Muslims and Hebrew Israelites are gangbanging under the Y and 5-point stars on each other. Oh my God. Oh, the 6 and 5-pointed stars. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, damn, no growth and development. Exactly. You laughing, Carlton, but I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, come on. Like this shit is dead. This is dead. This is why it's like, if you still going to an Umar Johnson lecture, he's not saying anything new outside of gossip and talking about white folks and all of this stuff. And people are, I mean, I see why they gave him fake money orders last month. I see why they did that to him. I see why these South African scammers scammed him. They don't have and do understand, they don't hold him in high regard like he think they do. You've got a faction over there in South Africa that's the same faction that you have here in the United States, where everything is white people fault. No accountability for their own actions or everything or whatnot. The reason why you can't get ahead is not because you don't study hard and practice self-discipline and have respectability and accountability or anything. No. The reason why you can't get ahead is because of the white man. And I'm like, and when people say that, I ask people, well, show me the white man that's assigned to you to perform at least 3 racisms a day on you like it's his job. Show me the white man that's assigned to you. You come down out of your room, you come downstairs, and he's sitting at your kitchen table with a fresh cup of coffee. Yeah, I just brewed a cup. I just brewed some. There you go. By the way, I spit in it. Figure we get our racism started early. Ain't Umar supposed to live in Ghana right now? I don't know. He got early adopters and latecomers. Right. That's what I'm saying. You get a lot of people now. You know what? When you look at his audience, it's comprised of people. The majority of them are people over the age of 40 and people under the age of 25 who just now, like when we were young, wound up picking up a Black Power book or something like that. And unfortunately for a lot of women, it comes in white lesbian feminism and victimhood. It's the white man's fault that, you're not smart enough to get a real job or a real education. Never mind that, you grew up in a Black neighborhood with you and your whole mama who just shoved a tablet in your face or a computer or your phone in your face. Not once did she ever, check to make sure you did your homework or checked on your grades, showed up to a PTA meeting, okay, sat down and talked to you, woman to woman. I mean, lucky you if you actually had a real father in the house, but no, it's white people's fault. Meanwhile, I can't get a job from Black people. Dude, I got into it today. But yesterday and today, some chick, former model of mine, she was moving. She was bitching, moaning, whining, and complaining that you know, oh, don't nobody want to help me. Didn't nobody want to help me? And I was like, well, you know, that's what she said, where the real men that don't know, they didn't want, nobody want to help me move. And a couple of us were saying, especially me, that's what husbands, boyfriends, brothers, fathers, uncles, cousins, and moving companies are for. Not the dudes that, you know, friends with benefits guys. No, they don't help you move. They'll help you move the bed back and forth in a steady rocking motion. But, you know, as far as, you know, having them pick up a couch, no, not unless they drop something up under it. And I told her, I said, out of just, and she was like, well, I did hire a moving company. No, she said, I did hire some movers. I was like, were they white owned? And of course they weren't. She hired some black dudes, supposedly hired some black dudes, and they didn't show up. And I'm like, yeah, well, based on experience, is especially here in Atlanta, it's best you hire a white owned moving company. Apparently what she did was she hired some people through the U-Haul, because, you know, U-Haul, they have these independent contractors you can go through to hire them, you know, to be movers or whatnot. So she hired them and they didn't show up. And I'm like, yeah, it's best you hire a white owned company that's licensed and bonded, because they're going to show up. Plus your stuff will be insured. You won't be getting Ray Pookie and them in a damn truck like I wound up doing. And these dudes, they broke the dryer, soaked the damn living room furniture and everything, and then the truck got stuck in the front yard because it was raining, and he had to have a truck set outside my house for 2 days, big old moving truck, and he had to have a tow truck come and get it out because I think he tore up the rear axle or something like that. And I told him, I said, come by the house, man. Like, come by the house. I got a lot of stuff. Well, just take pictures of it. I was like, no, come see it. This was like back in 20. I'm like, no, you need to come see it. Me just taking pictures is not going to help you. No, you know, COVID, nigga, fuck COVID. Get your ass over here. But no, I ain't want to do that. And I told him, I was like, yo, 4 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, no, this cool. And then, of course, he didn't have a big enough truck. This a house mover. Bruh, I told you, come take a look. And then got the nerve to want to get tipped. You left stuff behind. I had to get my neighbor. Luckily, he was nice enough with his pickup truck. We had to make 3 trips on one side of the town to the other. 3 trips. Not to mention the 5 I had to make with my car because I ain't have enough room. Never hire no more Funky Finger Productions moving companies. So one guy was like, you weird. Like, first off, stop talking like a bitch. And secondly, did you not hear the story I told her? This ain't the first time. Hire you licensed and bonded people. Shoot. Dude tried to show the dude, like, look, man, look how y'all broke my dryer. Oh, it'd be cool. I'll just get you a new button. No, come take a look. It ain't just a simple matter of buying a new button. Come take a look. No, it's cool. I ain't got to worry. I ain't got to look at it. I had to buy I bought a whole new washer dryer set. I was going to do that anyway. But it was just a simple fact that, you know, he was just so, never mind. Let me set that aside because I'm getting worked up. That still pisses me off because I expect so much better from my people. But when you give your people a chance and they are so Umarish, it really sets you back. It sets you back. You so worried about white people, but it be your own people that do you dirty. It be your own people that do you dirty. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Because you black. You supposed to overlook it. the incompetence. At any rate. No, but I think you have the same small-minded subgroup of Black people in South Africa that you have here in America. That's why I remember the South African president came to the White House trying to get a mineral deal, and Trump told him to kick rocks because of the racism, that racist faction that they have going on there. Like, dude, like, this is one of your parliament members. This guy holds a public office, and he's sitting up here talking about some kill the farmer. Like, what? And you want me to make a money deal with you? Kick rocks, bruh. You say I got that from some eras moving me from Tampa to Memphis back in the day. Yeah. So, all right, let me stop. Let me show y'all exactly how the people of South Africa actually see Umar, those that are not part of that small-minded faction. And this, of course, comes from Citizen Concern. Pan-Africanism or poison. Umar Johnson in South Africa spreading division and racism. She's South African. And for the record, Pan-Africanism is a joke. I discovered that before I moved to Atlanta back in, I think in 2019, I discovered that Pan-Africanism is a joke because they don't see Black Americans as African. And just like any other country outside of the United States, you take your Black ass over there with that American passport, and just like a white man going to any other country with his American passport, you are a walking ATM. And the human animal is the only animal that will smile at its prey, pat you on the back, pretend to be your friend, shake your hand, talk real nice to you. Next thing you know, they done led you down a dark alley to get stuck up. Or they send women your way and you get scopolamine and you wake up with, one sock and your tidy whities on. Hotel room cleaned out. If you're lucky. Yeah, the Africans do the same thing. You take your ass over there talking about buying some land to build a house, and some chieftain, yeah, you can build it here. And as soon as you finish building the house, all of a sudden here comes the so-called real owner. This is my land, and and they call the police. They make you pay them a bribe of thousands of dollars, as much as they can get off of you, if you so-called want the land back, or they throw you in jail. They just straight up, or they deport you, have you deported, talking about some land theft. Meanwhile, they done stole your property that you done put $30,000, $70,000, how much you ever spend talking about some building it up. Heaven help you if you go into partner, because in most countries, you as a foreign citizen cannot own land or business by yourself. You have to split it 50-50, really 100%, but they tell you 50-50 with a native. And if the relationship goes sour, you gonna see your 50% turn into 0% real quick. Ain't no buyout or sell it and y'all split it. Ain't none of that. They automatically grant it to the native. Yeah, run your ass to Africa thinking that, my brother, my sister. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness. No.
Michael Jordan is a Black person to learn from. He is great in various ways. Young Dr. Tsagalo Tibela did well academically, becoming a medical doctor at 21. Professor Mashudu Chivularo led the first team to use 3D printed bones for reconstructive middle ear implants, providing a cure for some kinds of deafness. Dr. Richard Maponya did well as a business person when the odds were stacked against him. There are many Black people who have started their own businesses, practices, and other careers with varying levels of success. But guess what? There are also Black people like this one.
From Ibrahim to Ifa Tunde, From Ibrahim to Ifatunde. From Ibrahim Traore to Ifatunde Oguntade. Unconktu Sizwe, Spear of the Nation. All Pan-Africanists to your stations. The independent struggle for the African race has begun. Oguntade.
For some reason, people like this one appeal to a lot of Black people. The worst of us, the most divisive and hateful people on earth. Those are the ones that many of you, my brothers and sisters, are willing to look up to.
Oh, you are 81% of the population is very similar to what to American brothers and sisters suffer across the pond in the United States. A lot of what they do here, they do to us. And a lot of what they do to us, they do over here.
This is Umar Johnson, a racist from America. He's an Umkhonto we Sizwe fan, and he's supporting the MK party lies.
Brothers and sisters, there's a lot of wars that have to be fought in South Africa. There's a lot of wars that have to be fought across the continent. There's a lot of wars that have to be fought across the diaspora. I was in Belgium not too long ago, and I bring you revolutionary Pan-African greetings from your African brothers and sisters in the belly of the beast in Belgium.
I wonder what he gets paid in order to come all this way to share this nonsense.
I was in London a few weeks ago at the Oxford Union debating the father of Elon Musk, Mr. Elon Musk, on neocolonialism in Africa. I bring you revolutionary greetings from your African brothers in the UK. I was in Toronto, Canada not too long ago, where they're standing strong against the forces of racism throughout Canada. And I bring you revolutionary greetings from your brothers and sisters in Canada. I was in Guadeloupe and Barbados and Bahamas and Jamaica not too long ago. And again, I bring you revolutionary greetings from your brothers and sisters across the Caribbean islands. And I was in Australia for the first time a few months ago. And I bring you...
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, you see the look on these people's faces? Wait, let's see. You see the look on these people's faces? They don't really care.
African brothers in the UK. I was in Toronto, Canada not too long ago, where they're standing strong against the forces of racism throughout Canada. And I bring you revolutionary greetings from your brothers and sisters in Canada. I was in Guadeloupe and Barbados and Bahamas and Jamaica not too long ago. And again, I bring you revolutionary greetings from your brothers and sisters across the Caribbean islands.
I think I missed it. I miss it. Look, she not moved. She ain't moved. And this chick, I believe this is a white chick right here. Either that or she real light skinned. Don't matter. But they not moved. Look, he yawning. They not moved. You got a few people clapping, but you know, they not really
And
moved.
I was in Australia for the first time a few months ago. And I bring you revolutionary greetings from your African brothers and sisters in the land down under in Australia. Brothers and sisters in South Africa, you have to recommit yourself to the liberation of not only South Africa, but the entire mother continent. And as you fight this war against neo-apartheid, because that's exactly what it is. Apartheid never fell. What happened on April 27th, 1994 was a dress rehearsal for the new apartheid.
I'm sorry. Was there or was there not a black president from South Africa in the White House trying to make a big money deal? Was that? Did we not see that? Did I not cover that a couple months ago? When Trump was like, cut the lights out, pull up the video. Did we not cover that? 94 is 2025, bruh. Black folks are completely in control down there in South Africa. What is you talking about? In the comment section, look, spot on. He's coming to South Africa because Americans are tired of his shenanigans. This guy's a fraud. Reminds me of one of these Nigerian preachers ripping people off. I've never trusted anyone whom is always saying brothers and sisters and repeats himself 3 times. Like, question is, who allowed this man in the schools? They should be judged. Can non-South Africans stay out of South African affairs? Please leave us to repair what the ANC and its splinter parties destroyed. Look, they even said, I agree, if someone needs to come get Trevor Noah. They are both annoying. Yeah. Hi, Kat. Thanks for mentioning Dr. Mashudu. This the chick. They're talking to the chick whose channel this is. I think most South Africans don't know of his existence. As for Umar Johnson, he knows absolutely nothing about Africa. As a colored South African, I believe we should be working together to build a better country instead of being apart. We don't need people like Umar Johnson to spread the message of division. Dr. Umar came to South Africa with slogans, not solutions. We need engineers, not entertainers. Nobody keeping racism alive like a true racist. I am a white teacher teaching black kids without drawing equipment and no furniture sometimes. Must be my fault. Laughing emoji. And I really give my best to help the children. Like I said, USA people do not want Umar Johnson back in the country. They also feel he should not be near children and should be in jail. In South Africa, people let him speak to children in schools. How low can certain politicians go? Yeah, as an American, I am thrilled that he is traveling so much. I just hope he never comes back. And for what I have heard, most of the African American community here isn't missing him very much either. They do not like this guy. Do you understand? This is a South African chick's channel, and they do not like this guy. Africans don't put up with Umar's nonsense, only black folks here. Will they? Not with, I mean, ever since he started begging, talking about I'm broke. You watch one Umar Johnson video, next thing you know, there's a whole playlist of people digging in, people I've never heard of before. You know, you got, I mean, you want to talk about YouTube struggle streamers, you talking about dudes who still making videos in their cars. You know what I'm saying? You know, they still stuck on that pre-COVID video type of situation, talking smack about Umar. Even Monty Woodgrain came out of nowhere and made a video about Umar. I'm like, damn, I ain't heard of this brother in almost 10 years. I even went looking up Mike TV. He's the only one that, that didn't make one. He's on this Native American thing. I for sure thought Mike TV would go in, but he didn't. I guess he's leaving them alone. Yeah, but they don't like this dude.
How can apartheid be over when 40% of black women in South Africa are unemployed? How can apartheid be over when 47% of black youth in South Africa are unemployed? How can apartheid...
Black youth shouldn't be working jobs. They should be in school, Umar. And why don't you talk to the black president as to why there's why there's so much unemployment in South Africa? I mean, Elon wanted to set up Tesla in South Africa, but they was pretty much taxed him right up out of there. He said I had to set up shop here in America. You want to know why there's no jobs in South Africa? Because of political corruption.
Over when 71% of all managerial jobs in South Africa are still under the control of white people. How can
Look at them. She bored. She laughing. She's smirking, rather. You know, on their phones. They listening to a bunch of bored out of her mind. These people, man.
Apartheid be over.
Spreading rubbish to our young people. Here he is talking to people even younger than those you just saw in that hall.
The last thing I want to talk about is knowledge of self as African people. You know the history of apartheid. I don't have to give it to you. I'm sure you heard of the history of the civil rights and black power struggle in America. I don't have to give it to you.
Imagine that. Foolish talk coming from this American fool. He's telling our young people that they are victims of white people. Meanwhile, those children are sitting in an ill-equipped classroom that they were given by the ANC. Look at that chalkboard in that classroom. So small and sitting on broken tables. Is it the fault of white people that the ANC did not build a decent school for those children? Tell us, whose fault is it that they have such a small chalkboard? Whose fault is it?
There's white people all over this world, and they think the world belongs.
Yeah, look at this chalkboard sitting up on tables. Sitting up on tables.
To them.
Which white people are those? The white people that I give 5 rand to at the mall for guarding my car? The white people that I give bananas to at the traffic lights? The white people who offer to cut our grass? Which white people exactly are you talking about?
We are African people. We are God's first people. We are the oldest people. We are the most powerful people. But we got to take back what God gave us. And we will never take it back. South Africa will never be what South Africa is supposed to be until you become what you're supposed to be.
The fact
South Africa used to be a shithole before, I have to be honest. It used to be a shithole before it was colonized. Look at... hold on, I had to rub my eyes here and catch myself. You got what happened with Rwanda and the Congo. 30 years of fighting. It took legislation, money, a money deal to get these folks to sign a peace treaty and stop fighting, because there's trillions of dollars to be made between both of them. There's nothing to fight over anymore. The United States is going to give us our cut 50-50. They're going to come in here and help us rebuild and renew our infrastructure. Our people will finally have safety, security, clean drinking water, the proper foods, proper diets, paved roads. All this warlord terrorist stuff, all this stuff is over. Unless you got some, Zionists. I can't really say far left or far right, but psychopaths. Unless you have some Zionists still out there, no, I have to murder you because whatever little reason I can come up with, But outside of that, put the guns down. Protect the workers. How about that? Everybody protect the workers. Because without them, we will have nothing. All this quote unquote black power talk ain't did nothing for nobody nowhere, especially over in Africa. Sure, it's nice to know, the dimensions of a pyramid and, and pretty much getting that Sunday preacher talk. Yes. But, bruh, show me how to make some money. What courses should I take that's going to help me excel as a human being that's going to put some serious money in my pocket? That's what I want to know. How can I avoid the dangers that's going to make me be like you, 50 years old, begging on social media for donations? How can I avoid that? How can I avoid that? How can I not sit up here and lie for over 10 years saying that I'm trying to build a school? Talking about some ain't nobody built nothing. What did you build? Like, bruh, trust me, all you did was, you haven't built shit. All you did was just buy an abandoned schoolhouse. That's what you've done, and painted the walls and the rock. That's all you did. You bought abandoned school buildings and painted them. That's all you've done. Are you kidding me? You ain't done shit. In the grand scheme of things, you ain't done shit. You ain't educated not one person. At least not in a positive way. Everybody that run across you hate your goddamn guts. These people will not help you make money because they are anti-wealth. Right. Anti-wealth, anti-gun, pro-drugs. Couldn't even tell you how to turn $20 into 40. They don't know shit.
People are not your enemies based on their color, but based on their deeds. We do not judge a book by its cover. This man wants our people to think just like him. He is racist and he wants all of us to join him. He's a fool that fails to realize that he's supporting the MK party, a party led by a womanizer, a corrupt man who was a president of this country for almost 10 years until the party that appointed him to be president removed him from office because of his corrupt relationship with the Guptas. Zuma resigned from being president because he was dirty. Zuma failed to build decent classrooms for those students. Zuma's corruption took money from black farmers, black learners, black business people. So really, what are you talking about, Umar? Today, Zuma has a new party and they invite you to come and preach to our children because they know you are the best candidate to preach racism and division. The fact is, the reason why our people suffer in this country today is not because of apartheid. It is because of the incompetence of the ANC. And by the way, the MK party you're supporting is just a different version of the same ANC.
It's okay to have fun, but there's a time to play, and there's a time to get serious. There's a time to have fun, and there's a time to fight. When apartheid fell in 1994, I watched it on the television in America. I was happy. I said, my brothers and sisters in South Africa, they finally going to get their freedom. Only to find out years later that it wasn't a real freedom. It was a mockery of freedom.
Our people do not suffer today because of apartheid. It is because of the corruption of the ANC. The ANC is the party that has appointed their members to be CEOs and senior ranking managers in government entities that they have no clue how to run successfully. Those ANC puppets turn around and give contracts worth billions to connected ANC business people instead of black people who deserve those contracts and would use the contracts to actually get the job done while improving the lives of other black people through employment, infrastructure, and service delivery. Instead of those, the ANC comrades appoint a few people who overcharge for services rendered to the government and pocket the rest of the money, loads of the money. Meanwhile, people die from cholera that could have been avoided if Edwin Sodi had simply built the Rooiwal water sanitation facilities. Black auditors are being murdered by black people trying to protect black entrepreneurs who are looting state funds. There's no apartheid involved in all of that, Umar. Go back home and focus on fixing your gang culture and trashy hip-hop that has destroyed your own people in America, and stop spreading this racist, evil propaganda here.
When you marry a...
Damn. Woo. This is my first time watching this. I saw a little bit of it, but I didn't. I was like, let me stop. Let me do live reaction to this. And man, whoo, put her ankle in it.
white woman, you are investing in white supremacy.
Correct.
But I would say, listen, your wife is white. So we're going to stop the black talk right there. Love you, but you are no use to me with that white woman on your arm, brother.
Racism is all that you'll hear from his lips. The only thing that has been stolen from our people at this point is the ability to think. Many of our people think like this racist Umar Johnson and thus fail to remove the ANC from power. The same ANC that gave us Jacob Zuma, the man who destroyed this country, gets many votes from those who are suffering because of the ANC. This guy is coming to South Africa to speak for the thieves, traveling all this distance to speak on behalf of the thieves destroying our country. And the deceived teachers allowed him to speak to the young South Africans. Shame.
Right now.
It's like, listen, I mean, I guess that's their version of Jasmine Crockett and Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries. You know, Charlemagne the Fraud. You know, that's their version. That's their version. The Roland Martins. That's their version. Oh my God. Oh yeah, you see Jasmine about to lose her seat. And while she's sitting up here talking all that, talking tough, you know, like the little rat that she is, you see she's scared to go back to Texas. They all scared to go back to Texas. And Kash Patel, the FBI might get involved and arrest them and drag them back to Texas to not only do their vote, but then also to have their seats vacated and special elections held to replace them.
Now, the gold of South Africa don't belong to us. Right now, the diamonds of South Africa don't belong to us. Right now, the minerals of South Africa don't belong to us. But one of you in here will be the next Steve Biko.
He don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Again, the South African president was sitting at the White House trying to get a minerals deal with Trump. What is he talking about?
Please tell this American fool that the minerals of South Africa actually do belong to South Africa. The minerals of this country belong to the state, which is the custodian of all minerals by law. Even if you own the piece of land above the minerals, you are not allowed to mine that land because what is under that land does not belong to you. It belongs to the nation of South Africa. Please tell him that we as South Africans are free, more free than ever before. We have the right to elect whoever we want to elect. We can choose to elect a black person, and we have done that since 1994. We can also choose to elect based on competence. We have the right to remove any thief and any corrupt person from power and from parliament. But we have made sure to elect corrupt people and thieves as well as convicted criminals to government without being forced to do so. We are free, Umar. We just have been voting dumb. That's the difference. This is how democracy works. We have the right to elect whoever we want to be our leader, and we have chosen over and over again. We hope that all black people will get better at voting, that they vote for competence instead of color. Over there in America, you have a lot of black brothers voting dumb too, don't you? You yourself vote dumb, and it is clear by your dumb behavior. Look at him being questioned by this black woman.
He said, oh, I said, I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said, that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
Do you know what my son said to me? He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has free, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife? That's what my son said to me.
A black man who's just like Zuma, huh? Sleeping with this woman, make a baby and leave. Sleep with that woman, make a baby and leave. That type of black man, huh? When asked about it, you simply make excuses.
And it's a good question. And my answer would simply be that my oldest daughter is 22 years old. There's no need to marry her mother, and there's reasons why I didn't marry her mother. And my 13-year-old princess is the only juvenile child that I have. My oldest is grown now. So it's really only one whose mother I would need to marry. And I'm not going to go into why. Just know that my mission dictates that whoever I marry can be a support to my mother.
Never mind that he was with his first baby mama for 11 years. He was with her for 11 years. They met in college. And you didn't marry her? 11 years? But y'all was living together and everything? But you Mr. Black Power? I mean, I don't have any children because I said, yo, like, if I told myself this ever since I was 17 years old. I always wanted to be a loving husband and father to my wife and children. And that if I ever got a woman pregnant, we were getting married. Hands down. Because I want my kids to grow up in my house. I almost had 2 children by the same woman. But, I mean, unfortunately, they didn't, they weren't born. Because, abortion is legal. And she ain't got to tell you. You don't have to sign any paperwork. There's no, 2 parties involved in an abortion. Because, my body, my choice. But the first time she told me, I'm like, yo. And, she told me, like, I don't want to have a baby unless we get married. She adopted my ideology. Because the 3 that she had was from a previous marriage. I mean, I had stipulations on dating single mothers. And I used to mess with them like, yo. So the second one, she was demanding that I marry her right then and there. And I'm at work. And I'm like, well, let's talk about this when, I get home. She didn't want to do that. I come home. She done locked me out. Luckily, I got my apartment. I didn't see her for 2 weeks. She show up, kid gone. Totally frozen out of the situation. The first one, she got an abortion behind my back. The second one, well, same thing, but at least there was an attempt of a discussion. It is what it is. But, there's no excuse for him. And again, like I said, he talking about, again, his daughter, 22, 23, his youngest was 13. The reason he didn't see her was because the second baby mama is a cheat baby. He cheated on his first baby mama that he was living with the second baby mama, got her pregnant. According to Lennon Horner, he got another woman pregnant when he was in his mid to late 40s with a chick that was in her 20s, but they don't know whether she had the baby or not. So he only claims 2. But the woman still asked a valid question. You sitting up here saying at 20 years old, 94, you crying, oh, apartheid is over, but you running out here, you being a bastard baby maker. What type of shit is that? Because he doesn't see them as queens, right? What up, Simeon? Yeah, I guarantee you he saw his first baby mama as just somebody he was just sleeping with. He just tapping it because he liked her. She messed around there, he moment of weakness, and then she messed around there. Oops, I'm pregnant. So of course they kept the baby, because in the conscious community, you're not supposed to be pro-abortion. That's why some of these chicks in the conscious community, these herbal tea chicks, got so many baby daddies. Erykah Badu, anyone? All these different baby daddies with no husbands. Anyway.
His own daughter exposed him for not being there for her.
I wasn't there for my daughter. And she may expose me on one of these podcasts one day and say, Daddy, you're the reason I can't find good black love because you never validated me as a woman.
Hey TikTok, so I just wanted to come on here with a small short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter.
Outside of that, keep in mind this girl, dog, this is how we found out that, who she was. Despite the crash out and complete psychological train wreck that she is, people talking about when Umar was in her life, she wouldn't be like this. Are you kidding me? That dude's a crash out. She acts just like him, except she's a female, so she's more emotionally driven than he is. They both crash outs. You say something Umar don't like, Umar fly off the handle. He crashes out. But he's supposed to be a principal and all of this crap. But the whole reason why she even made that video and reached out because she found out that she had a sister. Why would you hide, why would you hide that from your eldest daughter that she had a sister? I mean, I'm not about to get into this girl doing all this crazy stuff, but you know what I'm saying? And we all know how he responded to his daughter's videos. He decided to hustle it for donations. Oh, she this, she that, baby Smurf, all of this goofy stuff, bruh. You should have picked up the phone. And we all know Umar has a bad habit of not answering his phone. Even if he see the text message, he won't respond back. We knew this back before 2020. Before 2016. If you ain't talking money, he will not respond to a text message or answer his phone. But always giving his number out. For what? Or what? He started using it for women to send pictures. I remember he did a video about some, he wants somebody to talk to. It's, ladies, like it's after midnight. Send a picture and we'll talk. He laying in a motel room on his back, trying to solicit phone sex, video chats and whatnot, sexting women.
No friends. I have platonic relationships. I am not straight. I am a lesbian.
Nobody. He was never there, but he wants you to think that he's there for black people he doesn't even know. If you want to be there for Black people, be a father to your sons and your daughters. Be a father to more than your sons and daughters. Don't go out into the world preaching nonsense that destroys instead of building, because so far you have been a destroyer. But you can change and start building. Any man that makes babies and leaves is a destroyer. You took advantage and destroyed a woman who probably trusted you. You took advantage of women that grew up with no love in the home. You took advantage of women and created a broken home. You created women-headed homes. You have been a destroyer of your race, and it is time to stop it. When you come to Africa, tell our people to stay away from your American Black culture. Tell our people to build strong homes, because strong families with fathers and mothers make strong communities, and strong communities make strong nations. Start there instead of blaming imaginary enemies.
One of you in here will be the next Chris Hani. One of you in here will be the next Robert Sobukwe. You got to be. Because it's not enough to just go to college and get a good job and get a nice house and drive a nice car. It's not enough. God didn't put you here to have fun. God put you here to make this world better than the one you entered.
What I want to know is why this man is being allowed anywhere near children to speak hatred and lies to their young minds. Our country needs unity, not further division. Our country needs peace, not hatred. In this country of ours, we have Black people who vote for the ANC, MK, and EFF regardless of the results it yields. But we also have Black people who vote based on what works for them and their families. Many Black people in this country vote for other parties and they're happy. It's not because the political party they're voting for is right, but it is because the policies that those parties are implementing are better for the people than the policies of the Zumas and the ANC. Guys, please help us reach more people to counter this evil, divisive message. Please invite me to your churches, invite me to your schools, invite me to your communities, and please invite others like me to your communities so that we can fight the message that comes from these people. There are people who work for darkness, and Umar Johnson is one of them. We will fight such people wherever they raise their heads. Anyway, that's it for today. You can reach us via email at info@citizenconcerned.co.za. Thank you so much for watching.
You trying to tell a woman that lives in South Africa that she don't have much you trying to tell her what's going on in her country? Really? Okay. But yeah, this is why I believe they sent him fake money orders, because he over there dealing with people who already know his jacket and they played him. He over there dealing with Black low IQ racist scammers who got his bank account all jammed up and now he ain't got no money. These people know who he is. They know what type of person he is. They know who he is. They got the same type of low IQ racist scumbag scammers over there too. But right, they hustling off the hustler. Like, she's trying to talk about what's in our country, so why not? Because American culture is all over the world. Is South African culture all over the world, or is American, especially Black American culture, all over the world? At any rate, all right, y'all. But yeah, I think he's done. The money is gone. The money is gone. He couldn't cover those little $10,000 money orders. It'll be interesting to see what happens as far as with the IRS and the FBI if they get involved. I know the IRS is going to get involved, because $10K, a bank is not just going to let you walk with that. They're not going to just eat that. Even if you took half, which is 5, they're not going to let you walk with that. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I wouldn't be surprised if this PayPal gets shut down next. And then that'll be the end. That'll be the end, my friend. Anyway, what's today? Wednesday? I'll be back Friday. I'll be back Friday night. I'm trying to get Embrace Villainy 2.0. That's already set, ready to go. I just have to dump content on it. When I do, I'll share the link. But until then, I mean, you can look it up here on YouTube. It's already ready to go. It just doesn't have any content on it. But I'll work on that. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? No, today is Wednesday. I'll work on it tomorrow. All right, let's get out of here.
Demon King Satan! Satan!
Nope, not
Satan!
at all.
Satan! 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 Satan!
I actually felt retarded, like really retarded. I needed to brush my teeth retarded. I rode the bus retarded. Dang. In a weird way, I had to sort of just free myself up to believe that it was okay to be stupid or dumb.
To be a moron.
Yeah.
To be Morocco.
Exactly. To be a moron.
An imbecile.
Yeah.
Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. No.
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you.
1, 2, 3. And then I'm like, this baby motherfucker better not blow up by nuclear shit, or I'm gonna go loco on this bitch. And then he blows up all my nuclear shit, and I'm like, call my general. And they tell me, they're all dead, sir. And I'm like, assemble the army. And they're like, they're dead too, sir. So then I'm like, launch the friggin' missiles. And they're like, sir, they're gone, sir. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn, I know I shouldn't have called on this nigga. I shouldn't have called on you because you always trying to distract motherfucker. Fine, I'll answer your stupid ass question.
We have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Get the fuck out!
All right, bye. Thanks for the fun.